Hello, good morning students. How are you all? I hope all of you are good. So today once again we will start our topic data handling. So already we have started this chapter beta, and data handling, first of all I have already told you in the previous class what is data and what are the types of graph, how will you represent any data. So first of all, what is the data? So data is the simple collection of information. Okay, data, when you will what will you get, how will you get the data? So simply when you will collect all the information, so the collected information is called the data. So you can represent the data graphically also. Okay, and how many types of graphs are there? So I have already told you, first one pictograph, second one is bar graph, and third one is double bar graph. So you can represent any data by these three graphs. You can say, and first of all pictograph, bar graph and double bar graph. So first of all pictograph. So what is pictograph? When you are representing your data and any information by using any symbol. Okay, in the pictograph means simple. Okay, it is simple by the word pictograph. Pictograph means by picture. Okay, by any symbol. When you will draw, when you will show your data, when you will represent the information by using any symbol is called the pictograph. Bar graph means when you will draw your data using bars of uniform width. Double bar graph. Double bar graph means when you are showing two data simultaneously. Okay, when you are showing two data simultaneously, so you will use the double bar graph. Double bar graph is mainly used for comparison of the two data. Okay beta, so I have already told you about all the three types of graph: pictograph, bar graph and double bar graph. So pictograph, you will represent your data by using any symbol. Bar graph, you will use the bars with uniform width. After that, double bar graph is mainly used for comparison of two data. So when two data are given and you are comparing two data, so simultaneously two data you are using, so you will use the double bar graph. Clear? After that, organizing data. Okay, so today we will start the organizing data. So in organizing data, I will tell you about the frequency. What is frequency? What is frequency distribution table? How will you, why are you using the tally marks, like that? Okay. So first of all beta, organizing data. Okay, so how will you organize the data? So data available to us in an organized form. Mainly हमें जो data मिलता है वो किस फॉर्म में मिलता है? अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड फॉर्म में. ठीक है, सो सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना पड़ता है? वो अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड फॉर्म का डेटा क्या कहलाता है बेटा? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल रो डेटा. ओके, जैसे कोई भी हमें डेटा मिला, वो कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइज मीन्स वेल मैनर नहीं होगा, वो क्या होगा? अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड फॉर्म में होगा, तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? रो डेटा. ओके, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हेन वी आर गेटिंग एनी डेटा, so this data will be in an unorganized form, and this form is called the raw data. So first of all you have to organize the data like that. Subjects, after that you will write the marks, maximum marks, minimum marks, which student is getting maximum mark, which student is getting minimum mark. So here one table is given like that. For example, first you will write subjects. So what are the subjects given? So art, math, science, English. Tally marks. Okay, tally marks is mainly using for representation of the number of students, number of marks, like that. Okay, so this is the roughly representation. Tally marks you are getting for roughly representation. Okay, after that when you will collect these tally marks, so you will get the actual number. Okay, so here number of students 7, 5, 6 and 4. So here you can say beta, art is taken by how many number of students? 7 students. Maths is taken by how many number of students? 5 students. Science is taken by 6 students. English is taken by 4 students. So this is the complete table. And this table, okay, this type of table, when you are representing by the you are representing your data and organizing data with this table. So this table is called the frequency distribution table. What is the frequency? So frequency means number of times a particular entry occurs. Okay, how many number of times a particular entry occurs? So art is coming at how many times? How many number of students are taking art? 7. So 7 is called the frequency of art. Okay, 7 is frequency of art. This 5 is frequency, 6 is the frequency, 4 is the frequency. So these are called the frequency. So what is the definition of frequency? So you can say frequency gives number of times a particular entry occurs. Okay, frequency is the number of times a particular entry occurs is called the frequency. And this complete table, when you are using a table like subject, tally marks and number of students or number of marks, whatever it is given in your question, and when you are making your table, so this table is called the frequency distribution table. For example, any question is given in your book and they can ask make the frequency distribution table. So first what you have to do, this one subjects and number of students or number of marks will be given in the question. Only what you have to do, you will make a table and you will write in an organized manner. So for example, you will write like that. First subjects. So what are the subjects? So subjects are arts, math, science, whatever it is given. After that you can write the number of students and you can write the tally marks. So first tally marks, first you will write the simple, you can say you will write the rough numbers. Okay, roughly you will use how many number of students are taking art. Okay, how many numbers of students are taking math, science, how many students are taking English. So here you can, by these roughly by these roughly symbols you will collect how many total number of students are there. So here tally marks, you know how will you represent tally mark. So if you are representing 4, so 4 simply 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And if you are representing 5, so you will cross that line, so it will be total 5 number. And if after that 2 more lines, so it will be 6 and 7. So total numbers will be 7. If here 4 and 1 cross is given, it means 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. After that 1 is crossing line, so total number will be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 crossing line, total 5. After that 1 more line is given, so it will be total number will be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, only simple 4 lines are given, so total number will be 4. So these are the number of students. So this complete table is called the frequency distribution table. Okay, and what is the frequency? Frequency means frequency gives the number of times a particular entry occurs. Okay, how many number of times that the students are taking the art subject, number of students are taking the math subject, so total 5. Number of students are taking science, 6 students. Number of taking English, so you can say 4 students are taking English. So these are called the frequency. 7 is the frequency, 5, 6 and 4. These are called the frequency. Means number, the frequency gives a particular entry occurs maximum how many times. Okay, so this is 7 times, 5 times, 6 times and 4 times. So these are the frequency, and this complete table, subject, tally marks, and with the help of tally marks, when you are organizing your data in a well manner like that, subject, tally marks and number of students, they can give number of marks also. Okay, so you can see in the question also this one. And this complete is called frequency distribution table. I have written in the short form FDT. So you will write this is frequency distribution table. Clear all of you? So this is organized manner of the data beta. Okay. So first of all you have to organize your data. First of all, when you are getting any data, so you are getting it in unorganized manner. So this type of data is called raw data. But when you will collect any data, any raw data means unorganized data. So first of all you have to organize. Okay, you have to organize the data. Okay, in organized form you have to collect the data. You have to write the data in an organized form. And how will you write? Like the table, you can write subjects, tally marks and number of students. And this complete table is called frequency distribution table. And what are the frequency? Art frequency is 7, maths frequency 5, science frequency is 6, English frequency is 4. It means art is taking how many number of students? 7. Okay, so 7 is called the frequency of art. Maths is taken by 5 number of students. Okay, 5 students. So 5 is called the frequency of maths. Science taken by 6 students. English is taken by 4 students. So frequency gives number of times a particular entry occurs. Okay, so this is called the frequency, and this complete table is called FDT. FDT means beta frequency distribution table. So this table is called frequency distribution table. After that we will do the grouping data. Okay, next one, grouping data. Grouping data means beta when any data is given in group. Okay, it means maximum entries are given. Okay, maximum entries are given. For example, 50 is given 3 times, 5 times. Okay, not only single one time. Okay, so when any data is given maximum times, or you can say any one data is given 5 times, 7 times, so means maximum number of data is given. So you will write, you will use the grouping data. Okay, this data is called the grouping data. Okay, so grouping data, how will you organize in a table? So like that, for example, you will write groups, after that same tally marks, and after that next frequency. Next will be frequency. Okay, so grouping data. So first of all, why organized in data you are using, why grouping data you are using? So simply beta, group organized in data means simple data is given, only one entry is occurring only one time. Okay, one entry is given only one time, so you will use simple organized data. Okay, unorganized data is given, you will organize in a you will represent it in organized manner. But grouping data means maximum number of data is given and any one data is occurring maximum time. For example, 50 is coming 5 times, 9 times, like that. Okay, so you will use the grouping data. Okay, and grouping data, how will you make the table? First you will make the groups, tally marks and frequency. For like that, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. Clear? After that tally marks and frequency. So 0 से 10, 0 से 10 की frequency कितनी है बेटा? 2, 10, 21, 19, 7, 1 and total is 60. Clear? So this is grouped frequency table. After that you can say most of the students have scored between 20 and 90. Okay, these are the questions. So simply first 2, how will you represent? When frequency is given 2, so tally marks, how will you represent it by tally marks? So simply 2 you will represent by 2 lines. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 crossing. After that again 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 5, 10, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. 19, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 5 you will represent simple 4 lines and 1 crossing. Okay beta. So after that again you are representing 5, 1 you are representing, so simple 1, 2 you are representing by 2 lines, 3 by 3 lines, 4 by 4 lines. But when you are representing 5, so 5 you will represent 1 cross line. 6, so 1 more line, 5 and 1, 6, 7, 2 line, 5 and 2, 7, like that you can represent the tally marks. Clear? After that 7, so 5, 6, 7, 1, so 1 means simple 1 line. Clear? So these are the tally marks, these are the frequency and these are the grouping data. Grouping data means in between 0 to 10. The number in between 0 to 10, what is the frequency? 2. Okay, between 10 to 20, what is the frequency? 2. 20 to 30, frequency is 21. 30 to 40, 19. 40 to 50, frequency is 7. 50 to 60, frequency is 1. It means these are the entries, how many times the entry is occurring. So this is 2 times, 10 times, 21 times, 19 times, 7 times and 1 time. And this complete table, okay, this complete table is called the grouped frequency distribution. Grouped frequency distribution table. Clear? This one, the previous one, you can say simple data is given, so you can say frequency distribution table. The when data is given in grouping, so you can say grouped frequency distribution table. When data is given, maximum data are given, means the greatest data is given, so what will you use? You will use the grouping frequency. Okay, grouped frequency distribution table. So here you can say most of the students have scored between 20 and 40. 20 and 40 because 21 students are coming in between 20 and 30 and 19 students are coming between 30 and 40. So you can say maximum students have scored between 20 and 40. After that 8 students have scored more than 40 marks. More than 40 means 40 to 60. So how many total students? So 7 in between 40 and 50 and 50 and 60 is 1 student. So 7 plus 1, so you will get 8. So how many students are getting the marks between 40 and 60? So you can say 8 students. Okay, like that you can give the answers of the questions. Okay, so beta, this is grouped frequency distribution table, when the number of observations falling in each group. So this is called the frequency distribution table. After that, in the grouped frequency distribution table beta, this one, okay, when you are writing, the students are coming in between like 0 and 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. So what is this? So this is called the interval. Okay, this is called the class interval. This is called the class interval. So what are the class interval? So all these are class interval. 0 and 10. 0 to 10. This is class interval. 10 to 20. Class interval. These are the intervals. Okay. These are called the intervals, or you can say class interval. Okay. 0 to 10 class interval. 10 to 20. 20 to 30. 30. When you are writing the grouping data in this form, in between 0 to 10, how many students are coming? 2. 10 to 20, how many are there? 10. In between 20 to 30, how many students are getting the marks? So 21. Clear? Like that. So when you are writing the students in between 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, so these are called the class interval. Clear? These are called the class interval, and in the class interval, this one limit. Okay, first limit, first number is called the upper limit. Okay, this one is called the, here two limits will be there, upper limit or lower limit. Okay, in the class interval, two limits will be there, and you can say upper limit and lower limit. So first one, okay, first number is called the lower class limit. Okay, for example, if you are taking the limit 0 and 10, class interval 0 and 10. So 0 is called the lower limit, and 10 is called the upper limit. Clear? So first of all, you have to know about the class interval. What are the class interval? So 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. These are called the class interval. And in the class interval, what are the upper limit? What are the lower limit? So simply you can say lower limit means first number. Okay, when you are taking this one class interval, first class interval 0 and 10. So 0 is first number will be lower limit, and second number will be upper limit. 10 is lower limit, 20 is upper limit. If you are taking the class interval 40 to 50, so this one is class interval, this one is class interval, and in this class interval, what is the lower limit and upper limit? So first one is lower and second one is upper. Why you are calling this one is lower and this one is upper? So you can see by the number, this is lower number, this is upper number. Okay, so lower, and this is minimum, this is maximum. So you can say it is lower limit, it is upper limit. Okay, so lower limit, first number will be lower limit, and second number it will be upper limit. Okay, and how are you getting the upper limit or lower limit? For finding the size of the interval. Okay, what will be the size of the interval? So size, how will you find out, beta? So what is the formula to find out the size of any class interval? So size of the class interval will be always upper limit minus lower limit. What will be the size? So size you will find out by the upper limit minus lower limit. So first of all, you have to know about the upper limit and lower limit. So first, before that, you have to know about the class interval. So class interval will be like that: 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. When you are taking the number of students or groups, when you are taking the students in grouping, for example, 20 in between 20 to 30, how many students are there? Or you can say in between 30 to 40, how many marks are there? So when you are taking the numbers in grouping, okay, so these groupings are called the class interval. And in this class interval, two types of limit will be there: lower limit, upper limit. So lower limit will be first number, which one is lowest. Okay, so this one will be lower limit, and which the number which is maximum, so this will be maximum limit. Okay, or you can say upper limit. Okay, but lower limit or upper limit. So when you are getting lower limit or upper limit, so easily you can find out the size of the class interval. So what will be the size? So size you will find out by the formula upper limit minus lower limit. So what will be the size of 40 and 50 class interval? 40 and 50. So they can ask the size of any class interval. So I am asking you have to find out the size of class interval 40 and 50. So what will be the size? So 50 upper limit minus lower limit. So it will be 10. So what will be the size? 10. So here you can say in the grouping data, what is the size of all the class interval? 0 and 10. Upper minus lower. 10 minus 0, you will get 10. 20 minus 10, 10. 30 minus 20, 10. 40 minus 30, 10. 50 minus 40, 10. 60 minus 50, 10. So these are the size of the data, grouping data, or you can say these are the size of the class interval. So in frequency distribution table, in grouped frequency distribution table, beta, what will you do? First of all, you will draw a table. After that, you will write the groupings, tally marks, frequency, and this is complete table is called the grouped frequency table. After that, you have to know about the class intervals. So what are the intervals? When you are writing the data in groups, so these groups, okay, individual groups are called the class interval. For example, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, these are the intervals. And in these intervals, what is 0, what is 10? So first number will be lower limit, second number will be upper limit always. And when you are finding the size of any class interval, so it will be upper limit minus lower limit. So it will be 20 minus 10, 10, 10 minus 0, 10, 30 minus 20, 10, 40 minus 30, 10. So you can say here size of each class interval is 10. So in grouped frequency distribution table, you can find out the size of the interval, what is class interval, what is upper limit, what is lower limit. Clear? After that, next one. Yes, when grouped frequency distribution table is given, beta. Okay, when grouped frequency distribution table is given, so how will you represent this grouping frequency? Grouped frequency distribution table is given, so how will you represent it by the graph? So this will represent by a graph, and this type of graph is called the histogram. Okay, this type of graph is called the histogram. Why it is not pictograph, bar graph and double bar graph? Because in the pictograph you are using the symbols. In bar graph, bar with uniform width, double bar graph also bar with uniform width, but here two data you will use simultaneously. But in histogram, what is the difference of histogram and bar graph? So in histogram data, histogram when you will use when there is no gap between the bars. Okay, histogram, in histogram there is no gap between bars. So simply you can write histogram. Histogram. So last graph is type of histogram. So what is histogram? So histogram is there is no gaps between bars. There is no gaps between bars. So how will you make the bar graph? So simple, by like that. Okay, this is vertical and horizontal, vertical line, horizontal line. After that you have to make the graph. So for example, if you are starting from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so double histogram, how will you draw? Like that. You will, when you are drawing from 0 to 10, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, like that. Okay, in here you can write the marks, anything you can write, for example 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like that. Okay, so this is horizontal line and this is the class interval, and here you can say number of students, you can write number of marks, you can write like that. Okay, number of marks or number of students, whatever it is given in your question. So this type of graph, okay, this type of graph is called the histogram. Okay, this type of graph is called the histogram. Is it clear, beta? Histogram. So how will you, but when will you use the histogram? So histogram is there is no gap between bars. There is no gap between bars when you are taking bar graph or double bar graph. So simply you are using the bars with uniform width. Okay, आप क्या कर रहे हो बेटा, जब आप बार ग्राफ बना रहे हो, डबल बार ग्राफ बना रहे हो, तो इनके बीच का जो डिफरेंस है वो गैप क्या है, सेम होना चाहिए, और इनके बीच में क्या होना चाहिए, गैप होना चाहिए. वो क्या होता है, बार ग्राफ होता है और डबल बार ग्राफ भी सेम. ओके, डबल बार ग्राफ में दो बार एक साथ यूज करोगे बट डिफरेंस विल बी सेम. ओके, देयर शुड बी डिफरेंस. ओके, सेम डिफरेंस. You will take the gap between the bars, but here in histogram there will be no gap. And how are you using the histogram? When will you use the histogram? When the maximum numbers of data is given and data is given in grouping. Okay, when grouped frequency distribution table is given and they are saying for making the grouped frequency distribution table, then you will make the histogram, because in grouped frequency distribution table you are using the class interval and 0 to 10, 10 to 20. So here also class interval. Okay, you are using 0 to 10. How many number of students are how many students are getting the marks in between 0 to 10? 30. In 10 to 20, how many students are getting the marks? 40. In 20 to 30, how many are getting the marks? 50. 40 to 50, 60, sorry, this one, 40. 50 to 60. So this one here it will be 70, like that. Okay, so here 0 to 10, in between 0 to 10, in between 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, like that you are taking the class intervals here. Okay, so when you are using the class intervals, when grouped frequency distribution table is given and grouping data is given, so you will make the histogram. So histogram is mainly using for grouping data and grouped frequency distribution table. When data is given in interval, class interval, so you will use the histogram. And what is the difference between histogram and bar graph? So I have already told. In bar graph you will use the bar with uniform width, but here in histogram there is no gap between the bars. Is it clear? These are the bars, but here there is gap. Any gap? No gap. Okay, there is no gap between the bars. Is it clear? And so we have done all the concepts of data handling. From the next class we will start our exercise beta. Okay, this is all about today. Thank you so much. You have to revise all the things again and again what we have done in the data handling. What is data? Okay, after the data you will represent graphically. So 3 types of graphs I have told. First, pictograph, bar graph and double bar graph. After that I have told you about the organizing data. When data is given an organized, unorganized manner, so this is called raw data. So first you will organize it, you will represent it in organized manner. After that you will make a table. So this type of table is called frequency distribution table. What is frequency? Maximum types of entry occurs is called the frequency. And what is frequency distribution table? Complete table when you are representing any data in an organized manner, like subjects, tally marks and number of students. So this is called the frequency distribution table. After that grouping data is given. So here also you will make the grouped frequency distribution table same, and you will use for grouped frequency distribution table you will use the graph. And which type of graph? This type of graph. This is called the histogram. And what is histogram? When there is no gap between bars, so you will use the histogram, because in the histogram when in the grouping data is given, so data will be like in the interval, in between the interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20 in class interval, so you will use the histogram. Is it clear? So this is all about today. Thank you so much, students.